Welcome to Moxie Uncut. I'm your host, Jenny Nuccio, social entrepreneur, designer, innovator, and founder of Amani Collective. This season is all about reset. Real stories, the ones that don't make it into the captions. Failure, pivots, burnouts, heartbreaks, and the quiet courage to just begin again. Each week, I sit down with entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers that are building with purpose. We talk about the resets that shaped them, the lessons that they learned the hard way, and the strength that found them on the other side. If you're in a season of rebuilding or redesigning, you're not alone. You're right where you need to be. So let's dig in. Welcome to Moxie Uncut, the reset season. This season is all about the rebuild, the pivot, the restructuring, the internal shifts that change how you lead, how you build, and sometimes even who you are. Reset is not failure. It is refinement, it's recalibration, and it's rebuilding with wisdom. And here at Moxie Uncut, we talk about real stories, the pressure, the lessons, and the resilience and the strength that comes alongside on the other side of it. So welcome to Moxie Uncut.
Welcome.
I am so excited to introduce you guys to Tatiana. And normally I don't give these long introductions. I love to ask our guest what they're best known for. And so I would love to hand that to you to introduce yourself, what you're best known for, and the multiple layers of who you are.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to be here. It's very exciting. So, I'm from Portugal, a biologist and a dancer, former dancer. Well, we're all dancers, but I used to be a dance teacher, and I'm known for being creative. I'm a very creative person, sometimes too much. Yeah, so that I need to be called like, okay, you can put your feet on the ground and okay, let's start.
We'll talk about that. We'll bring this into the podcast. Don't worry.
Yes, but I'm in Kibera where I work, I'm known as the crazy Muzungu that always has his million ideas and wants to do everything at the same time. And sometimes it's challenging.
Yeah.
For me and for them.
Yeah.
So I'm the founder and creative director of AfroWema. AfroWema is a sustainable and social impact fashion brand that was born from love, basically from my heart. So I created a brand to support my personal tailor after a reset. So it was a reset for me. So from challenging situations, it's like a phoenix, right? So most of the times you have very good outcomes from challenging situations. And so I started thinking about a brand in 2022 with some friends. So I was already based in Kenya and they would be supporting from Portugal, but after a couple of months of developing the brand, I realized like, okay, they have full-time jobs and it's really imbalanced because I'm fully committed. And so I told them I love you guys too much to be mad at you because of all these delays. So I decided to go on my own, somehow on my own, because my life partner at the time became my business partner. So he has my back all the time. And he's the one that tells me, okay, slow it down a bit. So he's my, the crickets from Pinocchio, I guess. And so I started with Tabitha. She was my tailor. And it's very challenging to build a brand with only one person. She started bringing more artisans. And that's how we started growing in Kibera with everyone at their own workshop, with so many challenges and adventures. And now I look back and I smile and I laugh because it's funny, but at that time it was not funny at all. So it's a full learning process. It was interesting.
Yeah. And that's one of the main reasons too I wanted you to be sitting right here on the couch because of just even how you described yourself in the beginning, saying you're a biologist and a dancer, and yet you're representing a fashion, brand and really well known globally for that of just your creativity. And so before we dig deeper into that reset, we always do a quick cut. I call it the quick cut. So it's like I say it's 5, but sometimes I do 6, 7 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Kind of like a this or that. Are you ready?
Yeah, but it's only one word as an answer, or can I have more?
One word.
Okay.
One word. Very simple.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to expand, there's no rules.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
Okay. Morning person or night builder?
Morning person.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee in the cup. Big vision or detailed executor?
Both.
What's one word that people use to describe you?
Crazy.
And what's one small habit that keeps you grounded?
Dancing.
So you still dance?
Yes.
Okay. Like living room dance, formal dance, like
all the time. I dance
everything.
I dance every day with my partner.
Oh, which I still have yet to meet. So this needs to happen. This needs to happen soon. Okay. Well, I am again really grateful that you're here. And I want to trickle back to how you said really that AfroWema started because of the reset. And so let's talk about backtrack of even what got you to the point of being like, this has to be different. Like my life has to look different. So bring us into that story a bit.
Yes. So in 2017, I got heartbroken. Very severe one, very heavy. I stopped working for a month. So it was really strong. And I decided for the next year, so for 2018, every month I wanted to visit a new place. And international volunteering was always on my mind, and I never had the chance to do it because I started teaching dance. I was 17. So I always had a lot of things going on. And then I decided, yeah, that's what I'm going to do next year. I need to find a new motivation, and visiting new places, meeting new people. I think it's always good. So it got June probably. June 2018, I had nothing planned for August for my vacation period. Said, yeah, I'm going to do international volunteering. So I started looking. So the idea was to go to Thailand, and I realized that volunteering there was more like a business, not a humanitarian thing. And then scrolling on Instagram, I saw these pictures of these kids in Kibera. That's opposite to what we normally see in challenging environments. They were not sad, they were not crying, they were not full of flies, because that's what they sell in Europe, unfortunately. They were smiling, they were happy, and I loved the vibe. So I sent them a message saying, will you receive me as a volunteer? They said, come, we'll give you a place to stay, and we'll give you food, and you can stay with us. So that's when I started, okay, Kenya, why not? It was not on my plans, but so at that time I had a small Facebook group with some friends that we were doing some actions like buying things for kids for Christmas. So I texted on the group and I said, I need suitcases. And my friends were like, okay, here we go again. What are you planning? I said, yeah, I'm planning going to Kenya. Like, what? To Kenya? What are you going to do in Kenya? I said, I'm going to the slum. I'm going to be there for a month in a rescue center for kids. So I started gathering things from friends and family. So in the end, I came with 250 kg of donations. Not knowing even the person that was going to pick me up at the airports. And 4 a.m., I got to Kibera. The kids from the house were sleeping, and then I realized that I would be sharing the bed with the lady owner of the center and the youngest grandson. No bathroom, no proper kitchen, with the chicken in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's how the adventure started. But I immediately felt a connection with the country. I was like, I've been here. I don't know why, but I felt I've been here before. It makes sense. I didn't feel that I was different. Well, I was obviously different from the majority of the
For sure.
but I was not different. And they although all the challenges and financial challenges they had, I remember the first breakfast they prepared was scrambled eggs. And I felt just love from everyone around, from the kids, from everyone. And I fell in love with the prints and the energy. So I started doing things for myself with local tailors, and that's when they, oh my god, why do you want to do this design? I'm not sure it will work. I said, let's try. And then when I went back home, crying the entire time since I left home, since I left Kibera and until I arrived in Portugal, I was crying all the time. So everyone in the plane thought I don't know what was going on, but everyone was staring, but I couldn't stop crying all the time. And when I got home, I said, I'm going to sell all my things and I'm going to move to Kibera. My boss at the time, he said, you are crazy. You're not doing that. Try to help them from here and see. So the first time I came to Kenya, my father, before I came, my father stopped talking to me for a week because he thought, again, what's going on in your mind? Why are you doing this? Why are you going to be a month in such a dangerous place? And then when I came 2018, my father paid for my flights.
Aww.
My boss gave me extra vacation time. So they said it's our way to give some contribution for what you're doing. It's our way to support.
Yeah.
And then I came 2 more times, 2021, and then I had a job offer. Then I moved here. I thought if I don't do it now, I'll be too old, and it's now or never, right? So I decided, yeah, I'm gonna try. Why not? So I moved. End of October 2021. I started working on the 1st of November of the same year, and then on Christmas Eve, the same year, they dismissed all the managers, including me.
Wow.
Yes. So
now
a
you're
month and a
here.
half- no, I was back home.
Oh, you were
was
back home at
It
the.
was exactly on the 24th of December,
Wow.
8 in the morning. It looked like a movie.
Kind of vicious. Wow. But business is business. I guess.
Exactly. So yeah. So a week before Christmas Eve, at the airport, I met my partner. So we met there, and so the first thing that happened when I was fired, I texted him saying, "This so and so happened," and he said, "It's okay, I'll help you. Let's see what are the next steps." So it was not an easy journey, and I said, "Okay." I think by that time I was already very close to Tabitha, and I said, "I think I'm gonna try. Why not?" Pedro was extremely supportive. The other my two friends back home, and that's how it started. So it was a lot of resets, I guess.
Yeah. I find that there's like these big resets in our life, but then there's consistent like micro resets as we're going through it. So let's talk about that in even the first year of starting AfroWema and being like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I've like sold everything. This is the journey that I'm on. Where in that year, or like what are some things, and I don't want to say tribulations, but frustrations that you had to get past? Because sometimes I feel people might step into something, they might step into it and then quit like prematurely because it just gets too hard. Because it's even hard now. Like, I mean, I'm 13 years in and it's hard. Like there's still, the journey is hard. It just looks different. That hard looks different. So how did you get past those things that maybe were discouraging or disappointing in the process?
Yeah. So I had one goal, and I'm very stubborn and resilient. I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna try. I knew from the start that it wouldn't be perfect. So AfroWema now is very different from what it was. So in the beginning, we were doing daily wear items, things that I would wear every day. Let's put it very simple. basic dresses, men's shirts. And so I think I was a bit different from what I'm normally am, because I'm very perfectionist. So that was a big challenge for me, starting without having control of everything and knowing exactly what to do. So it was an unknown road, especially because I knew nothing about fashion. I was just a consumer, and so all this production process, how it goes, implementing systems, everything that's behind building a brand, I didn't know. So um, it was a learning process. Obviously, there are a lot of mistakes that happened, but I'm very financially conscious, so I always analyze a lot the risks, because in the end,
That's like your background, kind of. Yes.
yes, because as a researcher, that helps me.
Yeah.
That helps me to analyze and find different hypotheses to get to a solution. Sometimes too much. So Peter told me, just do it. Don't overthink it, but think it. But I think it helps somehow. And it was scary. Like, then you're employing people, even if it's full time or part time, project basis. You're dealing with people's lives and expectations, and obviously you don't want to fail. So proving to people back home like this was a good decision, because not everyone was okay. Go and try and see. So some people, they really wanted me to come back, and so it's important to have support in the journey.
Yeah.
To be crazy and to not be crazy.
So, yeah, I think anyone, the outside looking in, if it's like different than what your upbringing is, it's going to look crazy. That's definitely what I'm defined as in my family, is the crazy one that just, is.
Yes,
over
my
there.
sister, she's 9 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
She has a proper job. She's married. She has kids. So yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not married yet. I don't have kids yet, but I'm getting old, apparently. So yeah, it's completely against what is expected from the society. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How would you define, as you've been in this journey, how would you define reset in your life?
I think it's more common now, because you try something. If it doesn't work, you need to reset. You need to try another direction. So I've learned how to cope much better with a, not failure, but with not as successful tries as I would consider.
Yeah.
It's not a failure, because you always learn. So it's just not the result you were expecting.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've been asking this question to everybody, and at the end, it's like failure is just, whether you call it failure or not, it's good because it's part of your journey, and it allows you to take that and redefine who you want to be or what this looks like, and whether it's in your business or personally, it really like helps restructure priorities in a way. Yeah.
I was last year, Tabitha stopped working with us for different reasons, but one of them, it's because she was her own business was mature enough to continue by her own, which I was considering as a failure for AfroWema, but in the end, it's like no, because that's why the brand exists.
Yeah.
Is to create opportunities to upskill these artisans. So I'm glad that she continued on her own.
Yeah. I think that's one thing for us, especially as founder entrepreneurs, is to learn, is to allow people, especially in a social enterprise setting like we are. It's like we care about impact, we care about the development of individuals, and yet we care about them so much, like we don't want to lose them. And then, but there's this beautiful crossover of wow, we got to be a part of their journey, and then to see them spread their wings and fly, and is both bittersweet because it's beautiful and yet challenging.
Yes, because I really had an emotional attachment because
She was like your founding member.
Exactly, she was. And when this possibility of letting her go or not having her on the team started, I was like, no, because now I'm losing the reason why I started, and then I just give it a different meaning.
Okay, let's talk about AfroWema now, and maybe something that you're just really excited that you're building. Is there anything? There's some stuff you might be building that you can't talk about yet. But in the past year, okay, I have two questions actually. In the past year, what's something that you're like really proud of? And then what is something that you're excited of what's to come because you're building it right now?
Well, I think every project that we start is always a win, because it's something that I have. It didn't cross my mind from the start, because I thought we would just stay as a ready-to-wear brand. The idea more selling more on the social impact, not as much on the aesthetics and the fashion side of clothing or jewelry, whatever. And then when I had a crazy choice of, I'm gonna apply to Tribal Chic, because Tribal Chic is the biggest fashion show in Kenya. Worst case scenario, they're not gonna pick us, and it's okay, and life goes on. But they selected us. So I was like, okay, now what am I gonna do? Because I know nothing about high fashion. It's a runaway.
Okay, wait. So you put your name in to Tribal Chic without really being like, because you were doing everyday wear, without really being like, oh, I know high fashion.
No, we didn't know.
And then they said yes, and then you're like, we need to figure this out.
Yes, we need to.
So I love that.
And I was like, okay, so I gathered a team, and I was like, we have a good problem. We're gonna do
very good problem,
a high fashion show. And they're like, oh no, here we go again. She only has crazy ideas. Now, how are we gonna do that? I said, we will figure this out. It's okay. So yeah, I had some ideas at the time. I had an intern. The poor girl, she was petrified. She's like, am I gonna do this? She was not at that time when she joined as an intern. She was not from Kibera, so even going to work there every day for her in the beginning, she was scared, and so it was also a journey for her. So when we started, we need to design a collection. Oh, and by the way, we had 2 months to do it. 2 months. And
I'm laughing because my team is probably like listening and being like, oh, this sounds like Jenny, because I do everything very quick like this.
So in 2 months, we had a collection. I had a dancer to open the runway with the fado, which is a Portuguese traditional music. And we opened the event. I was like, okay, not enough. We're doing high fashion and we're opening the event.
Wow.
Yes. So people just loved, and they didn't know that we were from Kibera. So for them, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, high quality things made in the slum, it's not something that would align. So I guess we proved that it's not because it's made in the slum that needs to be low quality, that it cannot be high fashion, very neat, very good looking pieces. So that's how our high fashion journey started. And then the next year, we were the only African fashion brand invited to showcase in India. Last year, we were in London and in Rwanda. So I started the entrepreneur incubators, accelerators journey, which is also, my God, what is this about? What is an exit strategy? I remember being in this session, and so today we're going to talk about exit strategies. I'm like, I don't want to exit anything. I want to continue my brand. What are you talking about? So yeah, I normally say I'm a biologist that became a creative, and now I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So,
what a journey. I feel like we could have a whole podcast for people of just like the accelerator journey, and
It's scary.
it's yes, and it's vulnerable. Like for something that you love so much, and then you have to put it on a table for people to tell you the do's, the don'ts, the whats. There's pros to this, right? Because you're getting the outside looking in, but it also like you can get really defensive of like, no, I built this to be something, and it. You have to like go in with this like openness, and it's hard. Like the whole journey is hard.
It's your baby. And,
It's your
then
baby.
and someone is saying, oh, your baby has an arm shorter than the other one. It's like, no, it's not nice.
Yes. Yeah.
No, Peter normally tells me, it's like, this is it's an enterprise. This
Yeah.
is not a charity organization. It's a different thing. So you need to start. So sometimes he tells me, how deep do you want me to go and help you as an economist, as a manager? Because if I start looking at the numbers really in a really deep way, then I'm not sure if this is really viable, and then you might have to, because
But those are the questions we have to ask ourselves, because I think again, we have very similar journeys. You started out of a heart to give, right? The generosity of just sharing a bed with someone in Kibera, and it's like, I'm here and chickens are running everywhere. I very much relate to that story. And then having ourselves, again, a reset of mine of being like, but this has to be viable, not just for our people that we're serving and uplifting and giving skill training, but also for yourself, like as a livelihood. And so it seems you're in that process with your accelerator journey.
We rebranded last year, so yeah.
Which is beautiful. I mean, I loved your brand before, but I also loved, and I want to say, I love the detail that you give to not just your pieces, but also like the runway and your photo shoots. Like when you're sharing these things with me and you're using elements, and I won't share last shoot because I don't think one of these shoots that you shared with me is live yet. But when you're using elements that like are out of the box, so you have to think out of the box. And I would say that is what's leveraging you. And as you know, but being again a new friend and just seeing you and cheering you on, but that's leveraging you into those conversations, because you're not just creating something out of a kitenge or a conga or whatnot that is the everyday that people can do and pick that off the street. You're being creative with it. And then you're taking creative assets and other people and bringing them in. And I think that's been really cool, because even in that last shoot, just seeing the elements, but also seeing the makeup and seeing the surrounding, because it even had a different look of the way you shot with the lights and the things. So I think that's where I'm like, you're multifaceted in a way of like, you aren't just creating fashion, but you're creating a story around
Yeah,
that.
it's an experience. So our fashion shows is just not about the clothes.
But not everyone thinks like that, yeah? They're just like, it's fashion.
Yeah, fashion is in your life since you are born, because you cannot walk around naked.
Yep.
So it's true, right?
Yeah.
Or you shouldn't.
But you're allowing people to enjoy and like step into it. Yeah, the experience side.
Yeah, so that's why we had a painter painting the clothes on the runway. Now we're gonna have a surprise for Tribal Chic. So, but last year, I wanted someone doing aerial.
You wanted to do aerial? That doesn't surprise me.
Yes, and then Sylvia from Tribal Chic, she's like, no, Tatiana, this is not only a show, this is for everyone. So we cannot have a dancer doing that. You don't have what to hang the lady. It's like, no, you can't. So I was like, yeah, but I want to do something different. So I brought the bubble gun machines. Mm-hmm. So everyone was fascinated. And I think because, well, I also have a music background because I play the piano. Well, consider that I'm half deaf, but anyway, I play the piano. So music for me changes the vibe completely.
It's true.
So even, for example, on social media, I cannot allow for anyone to post without me selecting the music that it goes, because I'm very sensitive to that, to music. And so the music, some people, there's like, yeah, put anything that has a beat and the models will walk. I said, no, it's part of all the experience, it can really give a different message from what you're planning
Yeah, but it shows your brand. Like when you set a standard, like of again excellence, like people will then be able to look across the room and not even see your tag or your logo and know it's you because it just gives the essence of that experience. You
It's
know?
very funny because last year I went to have lunch at an hotel, and the girl looks at me and she's like, "Oh my God, you're wearing AfroWema, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, I'm the founder." "Oh, I didn't know you, but I love your pieces." And yeah, so
I love when
it's,
those moments happen. You're like,
yes,
oh,
it's so nice. It's so nice.
yeah.
I think it's better than selling your entire collection because it's like, okay, you're making something that is different, that is
Yeah.
unique, like our upcycled pieces, for example,
Yeah.
and the way the finishing and the clean look as I have, I'm really proud of that. It was a big journey to get there.
And you're still on a journey. And to kind of bring our conversation to a circle because this time goes so fast and we could have multiple hour sessions together. There are a lot of people out there listening that are like, what a cool journey. And I am in a spot where I really don't know what's next for me, but I know where I'm at now. I'm not passionate about it. I'm not living on purpose, and I want to feel something when I wake up. So with that, and this idea of reset and just taking the chance, what would be your biggest advice to these individuals?
Just take the risk, there's no right or wrong. In the end, what I normally tell my tailors is like, don't listen too much to what the society says, because in the end, no one is going to come and pay your bills. You have to do it by yourself, and even your family, as much as they can support you or not, but it's your life. So take the risk. You never know what's on the other side. So
Thanks, Tati, for being here. I really appreciate you just taking the time. And for everyone out there listening, this is Moxie Uncut, the reset season, refining, realigning, and rebuilding. And as always, friends, Moxie on.
Thanks for being here with me on Moxie Uncut. If something stayed with you, please pass it on. These stories are meant to be shared. And if you're in a season of rebuilding or becoming, then just keep going. I'll see you here next week.